Hey guys, welcome back to Super Jeremy World, and I'm really excited today for this retro game treasure unboxing because as you can see, it's a giant box again. So if you may recall, back in May was my first retro game treasure box, and I actually ordered a Sega Genesis console, the first gen Sega Genesis console that month. And when it got here, we opened up the box and it had a busted corner and all the little plastic pieces came out in the bottom of the box, which was really sad. But even before I posted the video, Retro Game Treasure had, I emailed them and they emailed back and said they would send me a new console as soon as they got one, and now they did. So today we get yet another Sega Genesis console unboxing along with our monthly Retro Game Treasure box. So without further ado, let's bust this thing open. While I'm opening it, I'll remind folks share with folks who aren't familiar, Retro Game Treasure, you subscribe for about $35 a month, and you get 3 to 5 games from the systems of your choosing. I currently subscribe to original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Sega Genesis, hence the Sega Genesis in the box. So we'll get one more here, and then they actually do have really cute little treasure boxes like the one over there on my shelf behind me. But when you get a console shipped, they don't fit in that box. So all right, here we go. All right, here we get a little tight with space here. Okay. Got some wrap. Got our monthly box. And one thing that I like this time, it seems like most of the wrapping is around the Genesis console. Last time it was kind of towards the bottom, the console was. And let's go ahead and get this out of the way. And let's see how we did. Okay, so we have, again, the first generation. You can see the high definition graphics across the top. And then in the back, do have the EXT port. And so those are two things that I know to look for. And now this one's interesting. As opposed to the other model, this one has like a metal plate on the bottom. So I'm curious if that was for what that was for. If it was for like attaching to the Sega CD, or if it was mounted, as some part of some sort of display or something. But that's pretty cool. And near as I can tell, we're in good shape all around. Could use a little spot of TLC and cleaning, but that could be a future video. So anyway, I'm really excited to have this. I will fire it up in a little bit and see if it's working. Yeah, so cool. Thank you, Retro Game Treasure, for replacing the broken one. So thank you so much. And we'll move right along. Here's our box. Let's see what's in it. Okay, little fluff to start. And our first game is original Nintendo, Mylan's Secret Castle. Now this one, you may recognize from an AVGN video. Oh man, he eviscerated this game. But I tell you what, this is one of those ones that, I think when we are kids, we don't necessarily know how bad the games are. Because I had this one as a game, or had this game when I was a kid, and I actually really loved playing it and trying to discover all the secrets. And yeah, it was tedious and annoying, but honestly not all that different from the original Legend of Zelda as far as like having to break open discover every single block, or like in Legend of Zelda you had to burn every bush or bomb every section of wall until you found it. So actually found Zelda was a lot easier to complete. But as far as the tedium, of having to like go through and discover every little thing and not really having much direction, it was fairly similar. So this game was actually on my wish list. So thank you, Retro Game Treasure, for checking that out, because it's one I played as a kid and was really excited to try out again as an adult. So Milo's Secret Castle, back in my collection. Okay, and next, also original NES game, we have Gyrus. If I say any of these names wrong, just let me know in the comments. But I think it's Gyrus. It appears to be a some sort of space fighter game. Could be a shoot 'em up. I am not sure. I'm actually not familiar with the game, but it is by Ultra, which we know is the sub-label of Konami. So I've had a lot of success and really enjoyed most of the Konami and Ultra games that I played. So I have high hopes for this one. If you played it, let me know down in the comments. Okay, next we have another original Nintendo game. We have the original Days of Thunder, which is really cool. This is actually one of my favorite movies, or one of my favorite movies from that era, I guess I would say. It's probably not in my top 10 now, but I really enjoyed the movie. I call it a Top Gun in a car. It has Tom Cruise, and I would say a similar storyline. But really enjoyed this. And if you haven't watched it, go check out on John Riggs' channel. He recently shared that they recovered an alternate version of this game. It was developed by a different publisher, and the gentleman who programmed it, I believe, passed away, and they found a bunch of floppy disks with his original unpublished game, and they put it back together, and actually you can buy the cart, cool, with a complete box and everything, new label, and or you can download the ROM for free. And it's really cool. It's a completely different style of gameplay for the racing, but really cool to be able to play both nowadays. And I'm excited to have Days of Thunder in the collection. All right, and next up, also original NES. It's our original NES month. We have Commando by Capcom. And I'm actually not familiar with Commando. However, I really enjoy another Capcom game, which is Gunsmoke, which I played. Actually has kind of a similar label with the background. But again, Capcom is well known for having some pretty good games, so I have high hopes for Commando. It does seem like a title that should be familiar to me, but it's not, so it's not coming to me right now. So if you know Commando, feel free to post down in the comments. Let me know, hey, you're crazy, you should know this one absolutely. But anyway, I'm excited to have it and play it and see what it's like. Okay, and looks like we got 5 this month, so that's cool, because you get 3 to 5, so I consider it's almost like 2 bonus games. This one's for Sega Genesis, and we have, oh goodness, NBA Jam, and it says NBA Jam Arena, so I don't know if it's it just says NBA Jam across the side. So NBA Jam, this is a game I've heard a lot about. I know it's really popular. It was back in the day as well. I don't know if this is the classic or definitive edition, so you have to let me know that too. But I am really excited to play this, because it was one of those titles that my friend had on his Genesis. He had Sonic, he had NBA Jam, a couple others that I don't recall. But this is one I do remember watching him play, and it just looked like a whole lot of fun. One of those ones that really kind of stood apart. At the time I just had my original Nintendo, so Sega Genesis graphics just looked amazing compared to most of the original NES games. So anyway, really excited to have NBA Jam in the collection, and that will actually do it for Retro Game Treasure for the month. You got Treasure, and you know what? This month I tend to agree with them. So anyway, thank you so much for checking out this video, watching along the unboxing with me. If you enjoy my content, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below, let me know what you think of these titles. Do you think I was crazy to have Milo's Secret Castle on my wish list? Possibly, but again, this whole channel is built around my nostalgia for games from my childhood and games from that era, so it fits right in line with that. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.